Sorry for the delay there. Welcome everyone to a talk of Ice and Fire, which is like a really loosely Game of Thrones themed talk on the Node debugger. Just by show of hands, how many people have used the Node debugger in the console before? Cool, quite a few, that's great. Very nice. So the reason I did this talk is because a lot of people I work with just console log, and I think it's fine to do from time to time, and there's a lot of use cases where it's better than just using the debugger, but yeah, the debugger does have its uses, so I'm just going to talk through how to use it. So I'll start by saying there's no Game of Thrones spoilers in this talk, so if you haven't seen the most recent season, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Yeah, so I work for a company called YLD. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm really proud to work for them. We're really great. So if you're looking to dip your feet into the consultancy pool, give me or any of these guys on the front row a shout. So the debugger, how do you start using it? So if you're on the console and you've got your Node script, which here is got.js, just add the inspect word between Node and your script, and it will run it with the debugger attached. And to get your script to pause, you just use the word debugger within your script, and that'll get the process to pause when it hits that line. So I'll just go through like a bunch of the features that the debugger has. The first one here is cont or C. So this is how you continue the execution of the script. So if you've hit the debugger statement there, to continue to the next debugger statement or breakpoint, you just hit C, and it will carry on. So like here, we've got all these consts, and then the debugger. So I'll just hit C and carry on. So I'll just put that there, but it's lots of. The N, or next line, is how to go to the next line of code. So instead of going to the next debugger statement, you just go through to the next line of code. Then we have S, which is step into. So you can step into a function call. So here in my script, I've got needle, which is an HTTP client, and that makes a call to a URL. And I've hit S when it's doing the needle call, so step inside the function. But then actually I decided I didn't want to go inside and explore the bowels of needle, so I hit O, which is out, so you get back out of the function. And it's worth noting here that you don't go to where you were before you stepped into the function, you go to the step after the function call. Pause, so if you have a long running process, you can just pause the script and use run to start again. SetBreakpoint is quite a good one. So you can use this whilst you're in the terminal. So you can you can use the top one there. Can you see that else? Yeah. So you can use the top one there to set breakpoint at the current line you're on, which is useful if you've got like a recursive function or a function that's called a lot of times. You can also add a line number, and it will pause on that line in the script. You can pass it a function name, and it will pause on the first line of that function. Or you can pass it a file name and a line on the file, and it will pause in that file on that line when that's called. So here, as you can see, I've hit continue from a previous step, and I've obviously used setBreakpoint on line 4 because it pauses on line 4. Yay! So yeah, and the breakpoint is like the same as having a debugger statement within your code. B3 or backtrace, BT or backtrace is useful to see like where you've just been. Yeah. List N, this is one I use like a fair amount, is you just list the number of lines around your current execution step. So if you're not sure like where you are, if you're in a long function, or if you're like stuck and you need a bit of context around like what you're doing, list is great because yeah, you can just see a bit more where you are. Watch is also a good one. Again, if you have like a variable which value has a value which will change a lot throughout the execution of the script, you can watch that. So you have to go in and inspect the variable each time. So yeah. Okay. And watch is also like the opposite. So you can stop watching a variable if you no longer need it. You can list all the variables you're currently watching. It'll do this every step for you anyway, but just if you've been running a lot of terminal commands in the meantime and you want to see what you're watching and what the values are, just hit watches. So like here we've got run away is true and walker is true. White walker is true because you're going to run away from white walkers because they're scary. repl is the node. repl is really useful. So I mostly use it to inspect the value of variables if I just want to do it once. So you can also use it to execute function calls within the repl. Exec is like if you don't want to go inside repl, execute the function and then come back out. So you can just exec runaway equals false, and then runaway is false on the next step. So restart is like just restart the whole function. So that will pick up any changes that you've made as well. So you have to like close the whole script execution and start again. So I'm just going to do a quick demo for you. So this is using this repo here. I don't know if you can zoom there. So it's available online if you want the code afterwards. And it's calling this API, which is an API of item fire. So what I've got is a short script which just fetches these values here. And I'm just going to run it. I've got the script there. Let's zoom in on that as well. Can you all see that okay? So, let's run this script. It's not going to have any problems I can see. So node index. We've got like some issue. Okay, so how do we debug that? We could add like a console log and inspect here, but we might end up console logging. Well, I won't even get to that point. You can see if I add a console.log here. So let's say I want to inspect the value of Jon Snow. See why it errored. Yeah, it doesn't even get there. No problem. So one-handed coding is fun. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a debugger statement here, and then add inspect just there. You see okay? Oh, you're a hero. I'm going to zoom in some more so that you can. Maybe that's enough. So here, it always runs into this bit at the start. This is like just a bit of the context of your script, and then you can see this is like the first line of the script here. So there. So if you hit C, it's going to continue until it finds that debugger statement we added there. And so I can go next, and next again, and next, and then you can see it's hit that promise rejection. So it's obviously some problem with how we're calling the API. So maybe we can look at like if there's a typo in here. So let's just copy this back across. That might solve the problem. Go back here, restart, continue again. There's another thing. If you don't type in a letter like here, it will just do the same thing as you just did. So you don't have to type N every time. And it's hit the same issue. So we know that's right, so it must be this. So, oh yeah, it's a GET request. That's my fault. So let's start again. Okay, so we've got to the next line. Great. So let's just run this without the debugger on, so we can see how it works. Okay, so we've got undefined, so it's getting the response back, but we've got undefined, so let's just inspect where that is. So I'll move this debugger to here, because we know that line works now. So now I can enter the repl, and we can just enter the value, Jon Snow, and see that it's actually like a response object, it's not the body that we thought it was. So this is actually going to be like a response. And instead of Jon Snow, we're going to put the response.body. So start again, continue, and then next. So this should console log the aliases, but we got undefined again. So there's one more thing wrong. It's this typo here, I guess, because if you look here, it's actually called aliases. So let's just put that in there. And I think we should be cooking with fire. Hey, it works. Congratulations. We debugged with no debugger. Obviously, that's a really thank you. That's like a really roundabout way of doing it. And you probably, for this problem, you probably wouldn't use the debugger anyway, but it's just a demo of how it can be used. And I probably wouldn't have gone through about 8 different times. So let's go back to. Does anyone have any questions about the debugger? Yeah.
So I think you connect Chrome debugger to whatever process that's running in the specs and the interactive debugger. Is there anything that command line version can do that Chrome interface doesn't allow you to do?
I don't think there's anything in particular that it can't do. I haven't used that extensively, so I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's just a way of not leaving the terminal, and the NDB or the debugger within VS Code is just a visual interface for it. So yeah, there's not a huge difference. Any more questions?
It's too shy to ask what I asked before.
We've got a microphone now.
I don't know whether. Oh God. I'm going to ask you a question. Does it work with source maps? Or are source maps of consideration at this point?
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. It's something I'd look into though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll look into that. But any more questions? No? Cool. I've been Joe Schofield.